have this already queued up.
Minimum wage jobs. And at some point in your life, you're probably gonna have to work a minimum wage job. Unless your mom and dad are just balling. Or you got like a whole lot of old money. And I'm sure a lot of you, probably in high school, you've gotten your first job. Or in the future.
Do they even like do minimum wage jobs anymore? Or not like minimum wage, but do places even do like genuine minimum wage? Like have you working for like $7.25 an hour anymore?
What'd you just ask? They do minimum wage jobs still?
Well, not like the jobs, but like, do they actually even pay minimum wage anymore? I feel like most places at least pay like 10, even though the minimum's like $7.25. Right? Is that ridiculous?
What?
I feel like they don't do.
Like what are you asking me, bro?
I feel like they don't do.
Oh, like you're saying like companies don't pay people like
they don't pay.
an hour anymore.
They pay more than minimum wage usually.
Yeah.
Unless
they
you're
kind
in
of
like.
have to now because cost of living has gone up with like inflation and.
But they don't raise minimum wage. Like they have every right to force you to be paid $7.25.
You will get your first job, and this video will come in handy.
Actually,
here you go. How to
I think it just depends on the state you're in. Like minimum wage and like there's different minimum wages in different states.
In like New Jersey, I think it's like 15 or something.
Yeah.
So step one,
like New York, California.
Strategize. What do you want to work? What would be the least painful option that would make you the most money? And you would have the most social opportunities in. Basically, everyone on this planet is forced to get one. I would say I'm a minimum wage job connoisseur. I've had 3 in my lifetime that I was all forced to get.
3 minimum wage jobs?
A grocery store job, and a job mailing out
Louis
letters
the Unbroken.
So when I cleaned tables at a restaurant, that was my job.
I'll cue it up. Alright, hold on. We'll get into that.
That's all I did the entire time because it was busy.
Yeah, I don't bother doing subscribe to any either.
Let me just tell you right now, off the bat. Just find a new one, unless you really don't mind, but I don't know. It doesn't have to be an entire ass strategy, but just think about what you would consider doing that'd be the least painful. But what I did, how I survived this fucking bullshit was, I worked with my homies. So if you got a group of friends and you all gotta get jobs soon, you know what to do. If you find a place that needs
any job I had where my coworkers had a ton of friends with them, all they would do is just horse around all day, get no work done. No work's getting done. It was genuinely awful. Like working at Texas Roadhouse, one of my coworkers got like 4 of his friends to work with him. Awful. I think they all ended up getting fired at some point because they would like just not do anything. They would just mess around the whole time. Like genuine just nothing. Do nothing. No work.
A shit ton of help. They'll hire anyone with a goddamn pulse. So boom, you're in. Or you could go in alone, but you have to make sure you have time to talk to coworkers because that will help you pass the time. Sometimes, yeah, my job got very busy when I worked at a grocery store. And dealing with customers, especially bitches on wheels, it was fucking trash.
I don't think I could work at a grocery store. Like, at least working the cash register. Working a register's gotta be torture. Like I could, my girlfriend works at CVS, and she, like some of the people she talks about dealing with, like old people yelling and whatnot, I would not be able to do it. It takes like a saint to, like hold your composure against them.
It was like pulling out teeth. So step 1 in a nutshell. Make sure your job selection is on point. Just take a second and think and weigh your options. And please, for the love of God, don't work in fast food. Number 2, applications. If you see hiring, please help on the fucking door, and it's somewhere you think you want to work, send it. And I know your parents are going to say, go in and ask. Go in and ask, honey. But guess what? Guess what the person at the desk going to tell you? Just go apply online, dude. So don't even bother. So the application's most likely on their website. Go get that, John, and send it in. Also, one more thing for the application. Literally just gas yourself up, and if you have a high GPA, GPA, they'll be on your meat stick. And also extracurriculars. Act
Does
like you're
McDonald's really
busy
care
and
if you have a
not
3.8
Step
GPA?
3, the interview. Now, most people during the interview, they're going to ask you pretty basic questions about yourself, your strengths, your weaknesses. Then they'll hit you with this question if you're lucky. So, the duck, why do you...
My interview I did at Texas Roadhouse was god awful. Like, I had Sean there with me because he also worked there, and we're just like good friends. And like they were asking like normal questions, like it was like, how old are you? Have you ever worked before? Blah blah blah, and then it got to like, is there any like weaknesses or anything? And it was like, my response was, yeah, sometimes I just don't do things when I'm told, is pretty much what it was. Like, repeatedly being told something. Genuinely, probably the worst response I could come up with was that.
want this job?
I still got the job, though. They still took me.
If you get this question, don't panic. They're just curious as to what brings people in. But here's what I said. I just want money. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to say? But guess what? I still got hired. If you want to go above and beyond for this answer and not fuck it up like I did, just say it stood out to you. Or if you've been to the place, just say, oh, I've kind of seen, like, what the work environment's like already, so, I thought I'd give it a whirl. Just fucking suck off the company in your interview, and you'll get in. Oh.
Yeah, like, why would, fast food places like expect you to work there for anything more than money? Like, nobody's like ecstatic about working in a McDonald's or anything. It's kind of like ridiculous for them to assume anything otherwise.
Yes, the company. Oh yeah, I just love your company and your brand, and yeah, I have wet dreams to your company. Yeah, just basically glaze the company, not like that. Talk about yourself a little bit, hype yourself up, and then meat ride the company. Don't say you're there for money. I got lucky. They were hiring anyone with a pulse. Now you're on step 4. Congratulations. You got a job. But you don't know what the fuck to do. You're a noob. Loser. What are you doing, loser? Okay, no. Take a breather. It's all good if you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Those first day jitters are going to be hitting. Just take your time no matter how angry the customer
Dude,
gets.
I was so lost on my first day.
Relax. It's not that serious. You could always get another minimum wage job. That's something I failed to realize. It's not really that deep. I
don't know how people struggle to get minimum wage jobs. Like, I feel like Wendy's or McDonald's or Taco Bell or Burger King or Jimmy John's or somewhere's always hiring. I've had friends like apply to like all of them and not get one job offer, and I'm like, how? Surely one place wants some random person that'll stand over a grill all day and work, right?
a whole sit down
it's not
talk
that-
with my
not
manager
that ridiculous.
because apparently I wasn't cleaning the tables fast enough at my restaurant job. Duck, you need to clean those tables faster. Move your butt. Chop, chop. Drink a Red Bull if you have to. He sounded like he had an object up his ass, but he said he was gonna fire me if I didn't pick up the pace or whatever. And then one of my coworkers went up to me after and said that it happened to him and he wasn't actually gonna fire me, and I was working at a perfectly normal pace. I literally had the job for 2 weeks. And I guess I'm just gonna become an expert poof out of fucking thin air. Step 5. Now that you're done training,
It doesn't take much to clean tables. That's what I did at Texas Roadhouse, and it's not that bad. I mean, it doesn't really matter how fast, unless you're like super busy. It matters how fast you clean them, but it really doesn't matter how fast you clean the tables. But the worst thing would be if the host is standing over you with a group of people waiting, and you're sitting there still cleaning the table. Oh, the worst thing ever. Because like now you're just sitting here awkwardly cleaning while you've got a group of 7 just standing over your head, watching you vigorously wipe down a table, trying to get out of there as quick as possible. And sometimes the bus tubs will leak and leave like water on the seats, so you gotta like put it on the floor and then wipe the seats down too. It was just so awkward.
You gotta meet some people. And be the fuck careful who you meet at your work. Make sure they're extremely chill and talk to only the chill people. And steer clear from the bitches on wheels or the grumps. Avoid them at all costs. Go make some friends at your work. Get a little squad going. You all have something you can relate to and have in common, which is you all fucking hate the job. So start that with your opener. And if you selected your job right, you'd actually...
Most of the people at Texas Roadhouse were like, not super old, but they're all like late 20s, 30s, and like servers. I had a couple of people, like bussers that I could talk to, but I mean, none of them are really talked to outside of work. Yeah. I talked to like maybe one or two outside of work, and that was it. Other than that,
to them whenever you have a moment. I was literally known as the quietest kid on the block, and I still went to talk to people, and as soon as I talked to them once, they all started talking to me. And you never know, you may or may not click and become friends. Give it a shot. You got crazy common ground with this shit-ass job, so fuck it. What do you got to lose? Nothing. So why not create your own little store friend group? Or if you got friends there, even better. It'll make things way easier. Give yourself a sense of community, so you go...
I feel like most people at a minimum wage job are like, not super friendly, but you know, they'll just talk to you just to keep the time passing because there's nothing else to do. You either sit there and flip burgers or you do nothing and just kind of sit in your own head, especially at a job where you like can't have headphones in. Like at Texas Roadhouse, we weren't supposed to have headphones in usually. I guess if you like the bussers could, but if you were a server or anything, you couldn't. So anybody you talk to is gonna probably talk back at least for a little bit.
In every day, smiling teeth and gums. And that's something that was done very well for me at my grocery store job. Although the job was absolute garbage, I had something to look forward to, which is all my friends that were working there that day. It just made it even less worse. Step number 6. Keep anything that's work-related or at work off of social media. There's so many people that have quote-unquote ruined their lives in seconds because they posted themselves doing something dumb at their job. Like just TikTok and work, it's just a breeding ground for just dumbasses. It's just not a good look at all. Because I guarantee you it's against their policy. So
I remember doing like TikTok trends at work. One of the, I don't know if it was a server or busser, I can't remember. I remember somebody walking up to me when the like just give me my money trend came up. They like had me do that. We had like 2 TikTok accounts. One was the bussers and one was just the Texas Roadhouse employees that we would just randomly do like stuff on. I don't know. One of the the busser account was kind of fried. I think it's deleted now because I don't think the dude that ran it works there anymore.
I would suggest not posting anything with the brand on social media. It's a pretty niche step, but I'd say it's pretty important. Especially with everyone and their mom using social media now, I'd say it's pretty important. Step 7. You've now worked there for 2 or 3 months, and you're bored as fuck. Every day just feels the same. You feel like Squidward from that one episode of SpongeBob. Everyone who's in that minimum wage job is in the same boat as you. So here's a list of things.
The only thing that kept me from getting bored at Texas Roadhouse was the amount of new employees that would come in. The turnover rate is like insane. They would have somebody new every week come in. So you have somebody new to talk to at least. The most boring time was when they'd take like the holiday decorations down and it's just a bland restaurant. That was the worst. But other than that, just talking to people was kind of how you kept,
things you can
busy.
do at your job to cure boredom. First thing, music. Some jobs are very strict about music, some aren't. Keep one AirPod in, because if you have both in, you could get too distracted, and you gotta show that you're locked in, especially if you're working outside. I don't even think it matters. I always had music in when I was collecting carriages. It was the most lifeless job, but it made it so much better, because I always looked forward to listening to music outside. I would recommend AirPods, because they have no wires, and
I'm not big on listening to music. I like watching YouTube videos better. I think YouTube videos are more interesting to listen to than music. They're more engaging, at least. Like documentaries or stuff. You can kind of think. Because I think thinking helps more so than listening to music does. Because music you just kind of blindly listen to. Or thinking kind of the time passes a little quicker, and just in my opinion.
They're small, so it's kind of hard to see them. And if you have long hair, you could easily just cover it. So it's literally a cheat code. And charge them on your break. You could come up with your own store games that you play with your friends. Like, bro, I would just be playing receipt basketball the whole time. I had a trash can underneath my register, and whenever someone didn't want their receipt, I would just try to fucking score buckets. I would do trick shots and everything, so you could create your own little game like that. Kind of just help pass the time. And don't be afraid.
The only thing we would do is see who could clean a table off the fastest, or carry the heaviest bus tub. But we started getting yelled at because it would break the bus tubs if you had them too heavy. The handles would start like snapping off.
Afraid to be creative with what you do. Like, we were on the register computers fucking with the sound that the register made one day. And the manager, yeah, she did get mad at us, but we didn't get fired. Like, as long as you don't do anything really dumb, you won't get fired. Like, cuss out a customer or something. And speaking of, step 8, if you work in customer service or any job where you have to deal with people, this step is especially important for you. And you gotta know how to deal with Karens. Smile and wave. Smile and wave. That's what can they do? What can they do? You're trolling her the whole time, just smiling and waving. No.
I never dealt with any Karens. Karens are like, I mean, I guess I didn't really. I mean, I interacted with customers a decent amount, but I never had anybody like walk up to me and be like super upset over anything or anything like that. I guess that's more the servers that deal with that rather than me, which is lucky because I would not be able to stand dealing with a Karen.
And then the higher ups can fire you because you were looking respectful, and she just looks like the asshole in the situation because she was raising her voice at you. Or you may get some really weird customers. Like, we had this one guy at our store who literally was a conspiracy theorist. He literally had a tinfoil hat on, not physically on him right then and there. And one time this dude did go through my line, and he was talking about his theory about like 5G towers and how they were mind control. Like, dude, yeah, I think you're on your own if you have got to deal with something like that.
Dude, I feel like that guy would be the most interesting to deal with. Talk about some conspiracy theories at work with some random customer. You sit there for like 2 hours talking to him about it. That'd really help pass the time, especially if he's like a daily customer.
I got no advice for that. But what I did to shut him up was say, oh yeah, you know, those 5G towers, you know, they've been really controlling the mind lately. Okay, no, I said nothing. I know, I'm a pussy for doing that. But look, I'm not trying to sit here at a shitty minimum wage job that I already hate and have a conspiracy theory debate with a fucking lunatic. Not on the agenda for the
No,
day.
that sounds like the best thing to do.
That in your day. But yeah, the thing about these customers is you can get a story out of them. So it's pretty much basically free entertainment for the day. And plus, it's extra content for the channel. So I was basically wanting this to happen. I did have a Karen encounter. I saw one live in front of my own eyes. She got mad at the person at the customer service desk. And she was getting all mad because someone apparently didn't bag the groceries the right way or whatever. I was the register closest to the customer service desk. This was happening right in front of my own eyes. And she said that she was going to fire the person at the customer service desk. Yeah, man, that's totally gonna happen. And what she did, she was literally raising her voice and yelled and stormed out of the store and saying, I'm never shopping here again. Like, bro, shut the fuck up. Boo-hoo, we lost one customer. Oh my god, So threatening. Step 9. This step is probably the most important step ever. Do not feel pressured to go in if you're not working for that day,
chat?
or to like cover for someone. Don't be afraid to say no if you don't want to go in, or just completely air the call altogether if you don't want to make that awkward phone call. But some people want to make more money, which is fair enough if you want more hours. But for the people that don't, this step's pretty important. Or just say, oh, sorry, I can't come in. Or something like that. Because I would always get phone calls all the time like, hey, Jonathan can't come into work today.
Too, man. It looks good.
Cover a shift from
Bro,
2 to 8. You think I'm answering this shit? Fuck
I
no, dude. You're better
always
off finding...
take the chance to call off or drop my shifts whenever I could. I like refuse to work. I hate it. Like, I hated going in sometimes. I would call off as often as I could, just because I could.
What you want to do with your life with that free time. You're better off doing hobbies, you know, enjoying your life. Because you're going to be working for the rest of your life. So why would you want to go in it? Okay, it just makes no sense. That's how I always thought about it. Just enjoy your part-time job life while it lasts.
I liked having my
unless
free
you
time.
really want the money. And the last and final step And I know it's so minuscule, but it's so important. If you don't want the time to go by so slow, take a piece of tape or sticker if you have a clock with you and just cover it. Don't look at the time because it will go by
No, I
painstakingly
stay
slow if you
looking
do.
at the
So yeah,
time.
take these steps into
The worst thing is when I'll look at the time and then I'll be like, oh, you know, I'm about to go home. And then I end up getting stuck for like another hour or two. And then I'm like, that hour or two just drags and drags and drags on. Because then I have like the expectation of, oh, I'm about to go home. And then I end up not being able to go home yet. And it's just drag. It's awful. I hate, like, I really should stop giving myself expectations of being able to go home, but I keep doing it anyways.
consideration. And thank you for watching my TED Talk. Go watch that video on that screen. Go, go, go.
That video was pretty cool.